with the Knights playing as well as they are, you will not want to miss seeing their next home game in person. Baltimore comes to town for the first time to Metro Stadium. It's the next New York Knight home game. Call 1-800-GO-KNIGHTS. Get your tickets now. Or you can listen live here. Oh, look at Parkeet Scholl! This is ridiculous! That is another touchdown! Parkeet Scholl! I'm speechless. I can't believe this guy. I mean, look at the burst of speed at the second level.
4 down linemen for Louisville in what appears to be a 4-2-5 set. Coleman back to pass. Coleman pump fake, and then a sack. Rick O'Reilly with the big play to force the Houston punter on the field for the first time tonight. And for O'Reilly, that's sack number 7 on the season. O'Reilly, a monster on the inside. Big play there for the Louisville defense.
First and 10 of the 26, Marconi dropping the throw. And Marconi against the late blitz will go deep down the field, and that one is caught! Pass Grayson Abarazzo. Shigeki can't catch him. It's a Mauler touchdown. The 3rd touchdown for Abarazzo in the game. And it just looked like the Legend defense kind of got tangled up. And Grayson went for the pick, and he over pursued.
That was just an outstanding throw by Rocco. I mean, he's 6'5", I believe. Yeah, he's 6'5", 225, long, rangy, strong, quick arm.
Rastelli back to pass. Rastelli going to the end zone. Pass is caught for a touchdown. Kendall Gilbert, and Baltimore's on the board. Give me some of that crab call. Baltimore cuts into their early deficit. Rastelli's got 6 touchdowns and no picks in the last 6 quarters of action. 2nd and 2 at the 40. Christensen will pass again. They are staying away from Kim. That ball, oh, it's belted up in the air, and Nick Nitro picked it off. That is tremendous defensive effort. Who dove in front of that pass? That was Aquantis Shine, who dove in front of the pass and knocked the ball up in the air. That was one of the best defensive plays I've seen in a long time out of Aquantis Shine. A.J. Levy, 6 seasons, all with Sioux Falls, the strong safety number 42. Chris Dodd, free safety in his 3rd season, wears number 49. Alex Parker and Nick Fargo, the linebackers, 91 and 92 respectively, as Rahman steps up in the pocket. Rahman gonna air it out deep, and Thomas Rahman's pass intercepted off the deflection by A.J. Levy. What a play by the veteran.
Well, you mentioned it, Cam. Levy and Dodd, probably the best safety combo here in the SFL. And Levy, a longtime veteran leader of this defense, comes away with his 6th interception.
So 4 receivers set here on 3rd down and goal. I guess this won't be a run. Christensen in the gun, looking towards the end zone, firing into the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. The Pride extend their lead.
What a throw by Christensen again. Has all day to throw and a post route. And that one, I mean, it's not bad coverage by Chappelle. It's just a perfect throw and a great route by Ken.
3rd down and 2 from the 12. Go Knights rings throughout Metro Stadium. St. Clair to pass. St. Clair to the end zone. Intercepted. Oh no! Joe Lynn picked it off. You gotta be kidding me. And 1 1st down will give the Crabs yet another 1-possession victory over New York. 2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line. Hand off to Overstreet, right side. Overstreet makes 1 man miss, and then another. And here goes Overstreet off to the races. Down the sideline, 20. He will be not tackled, and he scores again. 17th touchdown for David Overstreet, and Louisville has scored 19 straight points. And Overstreet is checking on the pulse of Oklahoma City.
La Capital, Mexico City, in all its glory, plays host to tonight's SFL Week 2 action. Both the Baltimore Vultures and Mexico City Aztecs started their seasons with come-from-behind wins, who will keep their perfect season alive. As a certain someone once said, someone's O has got to go. Good evening, folks. I'm Tyler Falk. We welcome you inside Estadio Matt Wilson. And for the first time in its history, this palace of football will host a Mexico City Aztec home game without Matt Wilson under center. This city and league has only known one quarterback in the green and red. The GOAT and his number 12, both retired. Now watch us from the heavens. Brett Solberg, tonight we will witness his successor, Jordan Sipe, take command of the Aztec attack. And I think Matt would have been proud with Sipe's performance from a week ago.
Yeah, there's got to be a mix of excitement and a little bit of a heavy heart for both Jordan Sipe as well as the entirety of the Mexico City Aztec squad. But you also have to think to themselves, what better place than home right now? Coming off a tight overtime victory against Carolina, and the last time that they met the Baltimore Vultures in Estadio Matt Wilson, they ended up winning 26-24 back in season 16. They hope to get a repeat of that again this week. Tyler, this is going to be a fantastic game.
What will happen here tonight? As Matt Wilson used to say, there's only one way to find out, and that's on the field. And so, the Mexico City Aztecs will kick off to the defending champion Baltimore Vultures. As Blackwater tees it up, and here we go from Estadio Matt Wilson. Ivory Irvin on the return from near his own 10-yard line, angles left side. Here goes Ivory Irvin to start things up here. It's going to be a kick return to begin the ball game. Ivory Irvin puts Baltimore on the board first.
And talk about adding a little spoiler to the homecoming here for Mexico City's debut in season 20 at Estadio Matt Wilson, and Ivory Irvin does it on just one kick return and just fantastic blocking, seeing that all the Mexico City special teams members was congregating down the middle, and it was just great blocking enough so Irvin could cut himself to the left side and see the open hole in front of him and just use his elite speed to get to the end zone. And we're talking not even 15 seconds old in this game, and Baltimore has a score.
And so 2 weeks in a row, first time that Baltimore touches the football, they get points. Last week it was the offense. Tonight it's special teams. That puts Baltimore 6 up. On comes Shark Tarkington to make it an early 7-0 as people are just finding their ways to their seats here, Brett. Nachos in hand, beers in the other, and they're still wondering, the away team got on the board first? What can they do?
And listen to the stadium. They just went to deafening silence instantly in this game. That's a way to get the fans out of it right away for Baltimore. Just positive steps moving forward already, just 11 seconds in.
So a second kickoff in the space of 20 seconds. Here to begin the ball game, and now it's Jeffrey Daggs. Can he make a spectacular return? No, he gets denied at the 21-yard line. And so on comes only the third quarterback in Mexico City history, Jordan Sipe. He helped lead the team down 21-7 a week ago versus Carolina to tie the football game and eventually take the win. Now, he faces the defending champs in his first home game, a homecoming, if you will. What will his legacy be here with the Aztecs? Out route, right side, his first pass will be an incomplete pass. That one intended for the halfback Ray Bentley, as we introduce you to the rest of that Mexico City offense. Of course, we got the three-headed rushing attack of Phoenix Jones, Ray Bentley, and Buford Van Dam. Wide receivers are Jason Bartley, Terrell Cooper, Nick Lockett. Tight end is Bill Henry. That's your offensive starters for the Aztecs. Split backfield. Quick drop here from Sipe. Blitz coming, but the pass out to Bentley on the right side is caught, and Bentley will try and spin away from a tackle. and cannot. Alvin Mack there on the edge, denying Bentley any forward progress, and it's third down.
Yeah, and it looks like Mexico City's a little bit shaken here to start off here. We're not even a minute old here. And that first pass from Jordan Sipe, just very poor decision-making, just throwing it to two defenders. Thankfully, on a second down play, they get 5 yards, though.
Bunch set right-hand side for Jordan Sipe. Again, Baltimore send the blitz. Pass near side, that's Bill Henry, the tight end. First down, Aztecs.
And this is pretty good here so far to get those last 2 plays. They don't need to do anything flashy right now. Just try to get their spirits back into, a set neutral for themselves instead of, feeling down as Baltimore started to score here early in this game, extremely early. Just a quick 5-yard passes, get yourself a first down.
Here comes Baltimore putting 8 men in the box here as Sipe goes into the gun. Maybe a mismatch. Sipe underneath, that is caught for a short hitter of about 2 yards for the man of the hour last week, Nick Lockett. 2 touchdowns, including the game-tying touchdown with just over 30 seconds to go in that ball game.
And here's the thing with Mexico City this season is that there was a lot of question marks coming into this season on who's going to be that big factor aside from Phoenix Jones on that offense. Will Jordan Sipe step up this season?
6-man blitz, Sipe over the middle. That's caught for Lockett. Back-to-back receptions. And that'll move the chains to the Mexico City 49-yard line.
Yeah, and it looks like Sipe's favorite wide receiver partner so far in this season is Nick Lockett. Now his 11th reception of the season so far. Count 2 for today, and then last week with 9 for 67 and 2 touchdowns last week against Carolina.
Baltimore's defense has been really aggressive as they've been expecting run all weekend. Now here comes Phoenix Jones near side. Inside Baltimore territory into the 34. And I was talking with Tim Johnston in our pre-game meeting here, partner, and he says he's expecting maybe 200-plus yards from these running backs against their defense tonight. Not something you often hear from these defending champs.
Yeah, and you have to think, in the back of Jordan Sipe's mind, that's kind of an insult to him, saying that, they're going to focus on that run game instead of the passing game. So I would expect Jordan Sipe to pass this rock a little bit more.
Another run, same identical play. This time it's Bartley who gets the call. He's only able to muster 3 on the play.
Yeah, and that's what Baltimore's going to do eventually if you start getting predictable with that run. They are those elite defenders that are going to stop you on that run if you continue going that way. Mexico City start off really good with the passing game here to, kind of shake that Baltimore defense off. But if you keep going run, Baltimore's going to eventually get to you.
Tight end set on the near sideline. Sipe under center, quick drop. Baltimore only sent 4 underneath route. That is caught by John Spirita, the backup tight end, and that'll move the chains. So Sipe running the wealth, finding anyone who's open, and it moves him, keeps him moving down the field, partner.
And I like that play a lot, especially when they use Jason Bartley, that slot wide receiver, as kind of like a pseudo screen option for that backup tight end Spirata there to get the catch and kind of run around Bartley to get that first down. Fantastic play calling.
Backfield, Sipe going to look to throw over the middle. That one is knocked aside by Frank Smith, the middle linebacker. Let's introduce you quickly to the Baltimore defense. Joe Duncan, Al Walker, Nate Brown, and Saron Yates, the 4th, lead the defensive line of the trenches. Frank Smith, Keenan Samuels, and Alvin Mack are the linebackers. Enzo Bolt, Marvin Himes, Ben Stacking Paper, and Elijah Warfield at corner. And at safety, it's the always dangerous Giovanni Bolt, partnered alongside Troy Losha. It's a heavy split backfield. Here on second down, they go up the middle with the fullback, Van Dam. And Van Dam is able to get 7 on the play. A good fullback dive from the rookie.
Yeah, and a big first carry of the season there for Buford Van Dam. He didn't get any touches in the game against Carolina, and Mexico City kind of, telling Buford Van Dam to kind of trust the system, and the system relies on him in that play to get a good 7 yards.
So it's 3rd and short. Blitz coming from Baltimore. Out route caught by Van Dam, and Van Dam is going to get it to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal, Mexico City.
Yeah, and this has to be, a great story to tell for all these out there that didn't really get many touches in their first games of the season, just to rely on, working on the system. Eventually, you're going to get yourself open. Buford Van Dam, 2 straight touches, gets Mexico City in a 1st and goal.
Set versus heavy set. Power I versus 9 men in that box. Hand up the middle, dragging him down. Phoenix Jones couldn't go anywhere. Alvin Mack getting his first tackle for loss on the evening last week. 7 total tackles led the team.
Yeah, and this is what Baltimore does great on their goal line defense, is that any type of run usually gets negated or pushed back even further. Mexico City's got to think pass here.
And they come out with the same formation and go run again. This time, Jones is able to go forward, back to near the original line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit past that. And now it brings up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, back to neutral. Again, I have to stress on this situation with Baltimore having such an elite run defense backed against the wall in a goal line situation. You have to think play action or maybe just a short out route pass. You know, use that same kind of screen option that you had for Sperata to get himself that touchdown off the pick option.
Mexico City's 2 for 2 on 3rd down. Here on their opening drive, they go up the gut. Here's Van Dam. Van Dam can get to the 3. And no further check that Phoenix Jones. And oh no, this is an unfortunate sight for Baltimore as Giovanni Bolt is slow to get up.
Yeah, and that's one of their top defensive backs. Forget about, you know, guys like Liam Ryan or Jermaine Menafield. The idea of the pass defense is usually it's usually on the defensive backs, and you can't have one of them out for this game. Hopefully Giovanni Bolt recovers enough for that Baltimore defense.
Here's the scary thing, partner. Giovanni Bolt, last season, 2nd on the team in tackles. Just goes to show you how much of an impact he has on that defense. On will come Chaz Blackwater to take the extra point, but that means Irvin Johnston will have to take the place for Bolt the next defensive possession if Bolt is not able to come back. Kick is up and good. It is now 7-3. Baltimore. And if you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. And here comes Irvin, already 1 kick return to begin the ball game. Return that all the way for a touchdown. This time, it's a decent return up to the 29, but he is stopped here on his 2nd return of the night. And so on comes Jack Wigmore, who proved his namesake in Jack Winmore. 5 touchdowns in the win versus Alamo City last week.
Yeah, kind of embarrassed Alamo City's return to San Antonio by just absolutely air raiding that artillery for 385 yards.
Stretch play near side. First carry of the ball game for Warren Murray. Can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Bernard Patterson will take him down. And let's introduce you to the rest of that Baltimore offense. Jack Wigmore, of course, the quarterback. Warren Murray, the tailback. T-Roy Gaines, T-Roy Trains, the fullback. Ivory Irvin, David Anderson, Daley Holder, and Mac Chima are the wideouts with Caesar Ackerman at tight end. Pretty wide look here from Jack Wigmore. Passes left side. That is caught by Ivory Irvin. Picks up about 5 on the play.
Yeah, not only can Ivory Irvin be a guy that, you know, can annihilate special teams by getting to the end zone with no effort at all, he is going to be the guy that you should see on a 15-yard, you know, corner route to the sidelines and get himself a 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever the yards needed for that catch and a touchdown. So be careful on that left side for Ivory Irvin.
3rd down here for Baltimore. Wigmore looking again for an out route. That is caught by Daley Holder, slot receiver. That'll pick up 6 and a Baltimore first down.
Yeah, and the wide receiver core for Baltimore has always been so deadly. Like, Jack Wigmore has probably had the best wide receiver core in you know, any quarterback's career, I would say, having guys like Irvin, like Daley Holder, like Mac Chima, who don't forget, he's coming off a 209-yard, 3-touchdown night against Alamo City. So he's going to want to step up and continue that hot run that he's on as well.
After spreading the field with a trio of wideouts, they're now going to stack everybody in tight on the line here as they go single back for tight end set. Pass near side. It is caught by Murray out of one tackle, but cannot escape the Ben Charbs hit as he picks up 7 and no further. And let's introduce you to the Aztec defense, shall we? On the line is Dan Tritz, Skylar Kingsley, Ziggy Blaylock, and Bernard Patterson. Matthew Alvarado, Dexter Jackson, and John Fowler are the linebackers. It's Gerard Brody, Jeremiah Menafield, Liam Ryan, and Jonte Jordan at corner. Jeffrey Daggs and Ben Sharps are the safety. Pass over the middle, meanwhile, is caught by Irvin, and he crosses midfield and gets to the Mexico City 36.
Yeah, and a quick flip the field there on just one play from Baltimore as they've been kind of slowly treading down the field, kind of trying to dominate time possession. These two teams love to dominate time possession. It's just going to figure out who's going to try to have that advantage in time possession. There is no one team or no two teams that can tie most of the time in time possession. So Baltimore kind of wants to carry this rock as long as possible.
For wideouts, Wigmore again over the middle, wide open, and down to the 5-yard line goes David Anderson. His first career catch gets him to the red zone.
And big catch there from Anderson as well. You're coming in to Baltimore being the 4th receiver out of this fantastic set, kind of the forgotten member of this wide receiver core. He's going to get left open eventually, and that's just a missed assignment and a missed tackle attempt from the safeties. Ben Charbs maybe need to step back a little bit more before the play so that he can cover Anderson, but this time he gets himself a catch, and they're at the 5.
Goal line I versus goal line D. Murray through the middle. Gets a couple of yards, only 2. Charbs again involved along with Dexter Jackson.
Yeah, and Mexico City's going to need to do the same thing that Baltimore's defense did to them just one drive ago here and stop them on goal line situations. That's one part done, but they've got 2 more to go here on an offensive line that needs more credit than they're given. They're probably one of the best offensive lines in this league.
For a pass, slot receiver wide open. Instead, they go Murray's way, and Murray nearly had an open lane, but Charbs again, his 3rd or 4th tackle on this drive against Murray.
Yeah, and this is what Mexico City needs out of their safeties in such a close, proximity to the end zone, is that their safeties need to step up, kind of creep closer to the line, see what their running back's doing.
The middle, Murray, can he fight him off? Yes, he can! Touchdown, Baltimore!
And Baltimore, gives credit to a lot to their strength and conditioning to, just bruise themselves in those situations where they need to get either a first down or a touchdown in close situations. And Warren Murray and T. Roy Gaines, those are the 2 guys that I think of when they can power themselves through to get past the boundary. Baltimore scores again and again. Estadio Matt Wilson falls silent.
9 plays, 70 yards, all culminating in that rushing touchdown from Murray. On comes Tarkington to tack home another extra point. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. 14-3. Baltimore edge out their lead again, and partner Baltimore starting off hot.
Yeah, you can't have Baltimore going hot if you're the opposing team, no matter if you're at home or on the road, because if Baltimore catches fire, they will score in bunches. Now Mexico City has to think of themselves offensively. Do I need to ditch the running game and start passing the rock, see what Jordan Sipe can do with this elite offense?
Jack Wigmore, 5 of 5 as well on the drive. A solid opening statement from the Vultures as here comes Jeffrey Daggs, the Hall of Famer, gets all the way to the 22, and that will be that on the return. Out comes Jordan Sipe once again to lead the offense for his second drive. Pretty admirable in his first drive, 6 of 8.
Yeah, not too shabby of a first drive now that he's, settling in at home, his new home in Mexico City, but now the Aztecs need to, score some major points on this drive.
In fact, that only 5 of 7, not 6 of 8. We'll wait for one more. Van Dam involved again. Another 7-yard run. Or check that once again. That's Phoenix Jones. My apologies. Getting all the carries instead of that. Giovanni Bolt got an update. Could not see it. And so we'll find out with the rest of you whether or not he returns this evening.
Yeah, just our luck. And I think I just saw Giovanni Bolts in the huddle there, so he might be back in this game. You'll have to check bottom of the screen. Is that 41 on that defensive side?
I believe so. I believe Bolt is back in the game. Power eye here on second and short. They'll go to Jones again. This time he's folded in half, and he's taken down for a loss of 2.
Yeah, and now Mexico City's starting to be a little bit too predictable against this Baltimore defensive line and linebacker sets that know that when they see the running back, they immediately get hungry enough to just smash. So Jordan Sipe needs to start throwing this rock, especially here at 3rd and 5.
See what they come up with as Sipe goes into the gun. Van Dam, and that's Ray Bentley off to his right. 3rd down, blitz coming. Deep shot, right side, looking for Lockett, can't find him.
Hey, I like the risks there from Mexico City. Good play call. Just a one-on-one with Nick Lockett, who has the speed to break his defender, but not this time. Making sure that he gets a great swat on that football. Was just right on him the entire time. Great job from Baltimore to respond defensively here.
After rushing down the field and kicking a field goal on their opening drive, they settle now for a quick 3 and out on their second. This is the first time we'll see Cale Barrett Jr. as the blitz is coming, and like we've seen so often this weekend, almost a blocked punt as Irvin gets taken down on the return of maybe about 3 yards.
Yeah, Enzo Bolt was about probably 6 to 7 inches away from getting to that punt, just very close from it being blocked. And Mexico City's probably got to be counting their stars at this point. But Baltimore starting at their own 38-yard line, pretty decent field position to start off this ensuing drive.
Start off with 4 wide receivers, 2 on either side of Jack Wigmore. 7-step drop, shot over the middle into traffic, nearly taken away by Dags.
Not a bad call from Baltimore there as well, knowing that Irvin has had a couple open opportunities, and he was open on that pass, but just at the last second, Jeffrey Daggs gets his hands on the football and manages to drop it down. Hopefully, this will start, a trend of things defensively for Mexico City to hopefully stop this football and try to get back in this game.
Offset eye behind Wigmore here on 2nd down. Linebackers shift in the direction of the offset eye. Will be a run in that direction for Warren Murray, and Murray through one tackle and then leveled at his own 49-yard line, but he does move the chains for a 1st down.
And again, talking about that elite offensive line that does such great work to protect the quarterback, but also open holes for their running backs when need be. And Warren Murray just had an open lane. Nobody would touch him past 8 yards, easily gets that 1st down and then some. And with time ticking away here in this 1st quarter, Baltimore has all the momentum right now.
Backs in the backfield, 4-3 look out of Mexico City. Here on 1st down, Wigmore over the middle, that is caught. Another 1st down. This time, Wigmore will find Caesar Ackerman. And that will bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. Vultures circling here in Mexico City. 14-3 they lead. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Welcome back to Estadio Matt Wilson, Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg in the booth. A special shout out to our statisticians tonight, Ricky Robertson, Gerald Smith, and Ramos Lynn. Handoff for Murray near side. He gets out of 1. He's been breaking a couple. It almost seems every time he breaks out of the first tackle partner before getting tackled later on.
Yeah, Mexico City did a great job guessing where Murray was going to head. They had pressure on that left side of Murray, but Warren Murray had the wherewithal to cut himself to the outside just a bit, curl himself over to that left tackle, and then get the 5 yards. Great work from Murray.
Offset tight ends and offset eye. Murray near side, gets out of another 1st tackle, gets a 1st down. Liam Ryan holding on for dear life to haul him down.
Yeah, and now we're starting to see Warren Murray cook here after only seeing him run for 15 yards in this 1st quarter. Now he's starting to cook. He already has almost as many yards just on 2 carries than he did an entire quarter. So now this mixture of run and pass is happening for Baltimore in a good way, and they're already inside the red zone.
Tim Johnson was thinking that Baltimore might run away with this football game on the ground, but it seems like Warren Murray has other ideas. 4 wide here out of Baltimore, inside the red zone for the second time tonight. Wigmore, 5-step drop, out route right side. That's Ackerman turning upfield, lowering the shoulder and getting to the 4-yard line before Liam Ryan knocks him out of bounds.
And Ackerman has huge shoes to fill as being that main option for tight end, no matter what game he comes into, with his wide receivers, being as elite as they come. And when he gets those opportunities, man, he's got to show up, and show up he did. Huge stiff arm to get himself an extra 4 yards. And again, Baltimore inside the 5.
Our eye here on 1st and goal. They go Warren Murray looking for touchdown number 2 of the ball game, and he breaks out of 1 tackle, but the Aztecs swarm to him at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
And that's great work from Gerard Brody to kind of halt Murray's run, even though he got shedded by Warren Murray on that, but he just had enough time to hold on to him to stop the run enough to get his other tacklers in to stop him basically for close to no gain.
Backs in the backfield, 3 tight end look here for Baltimore. 2nd and goal, hand up the middle, fighting defenders in Mexico City. Doing another good job of trying to slow them up, and they force a 3rd down.
And Dexter Jackson, the linebackers did a great job in just swarming that middle. That was just, a traditional just run up the gut play from Baltimore, and Mexico City knew what was happening. And again, minimal gain. One more time, force a field goal.
They need to stop the bleeding. They go Murray again, near side. This time he can't break out in the first tackle. Matthew Alvarado takes him down, and it's 4th down.
And that's a huge momentum boost for Mexico City to stop Baltimore in goal line situations. 3 plays in a row, and force Shark Tarkington to kick a field goal from super close, and kind of stop the bleeding a little bit, but still only 3 points instead of 6.
So this for Tarkington should be a chip shot from 19 yards away. It's up and good. And it's now a 14-point lead, 17-3. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFL minor league action, and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation through your viewership. Here comes Jeffrey Daggs on the return, trying to spin out of a tackle, and he's blasted backwards at his own 26. A 14-point lead, partner, already this season is something that Mexico City is already accustomed to.
Yeah, and they can't have this going all season where they start, behind the tracks and, trying to catch up on opponents, because eventually they're not going to be able to catch up like they did last week. My main focus here on this second quarter for Mexico City, up those average yards of play. They only had 4.3 yards per play in the first quarter.
Quick drop, pumps once, and trying to find his target over the middle, looking for Jason Bartley. Just a little bit of miscommunication, maybe got bumped off his route.
Yeah, and it just looked like one defensive back and one wide receiver kind of fighting for position, and Sipe was just not waiting for his receiver just to get ready and look into his eyes of a receiver to throw that rock, and he just overthrew it, simply said.
All right, here for Mexico City on 2nd down as Jones sends a man to the turf and picks up 5.
And if that passing game isn't going to work, they're going to need to trust on Phoenix Jones to continue his work. He had 180 plus yards against Carolina, and he's going to need to have those big yards again against this stout run defense of Baltimore here.
Well, now they come in the gun. 3rd and 5 here for the Aztecs. Under pressure, and down goes Sipe. In comes Saran Yates, the 4th, and he ties Mike Johnson for 9th all time.
And you can tell Jordan Sipe is nervous. This first half hasn't been going how he would want to here. On that play, I saw two receivers open immediately that he could have passed that football. He was maybe looking for more pay dirt and get a deeper pass down the field, but you don't have to get all flashy and pretty here in the second quarter. Make sure that your passes are completed. You're now 5 of 9, and now you've been sacked. You need to start, collecting yourself on this next drive that you get.
75.5 sacks in his career. Mike Johnson, formerly at Jacksonville, ties him for 9th all-time. Looking for one more to go solo at 9th all-time. Irvin on the return gets to the 43-yard line, and now out comes the offense. They have scored on every single offensive possession.
And look at the focus here. Jack Wigmore, QBR of 114.1 on just one incompletion. This passing game for Baltimore has worked in this game.
Nation handoff. Murray, down he goes. He says hello to Dan Tritz.
And this is what Mexico City needs here. If they can eliminate that running game and take Warren Murray completely out of the equation now, all they need to really focus on is have those defensive backs ready to defend passes. Guys like Brody, guys like Liam Ryan, guys like Menefield, who caught fantastic interceptions last season. They need one out of him right now.
Quick drop this time for Wigmore. Looking out for Murray again. Gets away from one. Liam Ryan again. Trying to hold on by the coattails. Gets a little help from Ben Charbs as well.
Yeah, and Warren Murray, if he can't, get working on the ground in that drive, they're going to start using him on the swing pass options or flat passes, whatever that he can get. And if he has the space, he will use his speed and his agility to get yards.
Third down here for the Vultures. They go with the run near side, down again, and it's another clutch tackle from Alvarado. 4th down.
That's just huge for Mexico City here. The first time that you've stopped them and forced the Vultures to punt the football away back to you. So now this offense has to wake up and, get some points out of this here. So great job from Mexico City's defense to just play stout defense on their running game.
Unless something bizarre happens like it did a week ago against Baltimore and Alamo City, there will be no points on this drive. Here for the Vultures. Fair catch called for by Jeffrey Deggs at his 11-yard line. He hauls that in without any fuss. Monday night, the Corbin Cup takes center stage when Carolina visits Charleston in the 13th all-time meeting. Join Cameron Irvine and Paul Sarp for the call, and this week in the SFL pregame, recapping all of the exciting Week 2 action. Coverage starts at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on SFL YouTube. Mexico City start off with a pass, looking left side for Van Dam. He has been involved in all facets of the game today, but he goes backwards this time.
And that was just a poor showing of blocking. You had one receiver, I think it was Jason Bartley on that left side, that should have been able to block at least one of those defenders, but he decides to keep running past them, and that results in a 1-yard loss.
All right, going left-hand side with Jones. Jones gets about 2, maybe 2.5 yards for the 14-yard line, edging themselves further away from their own end zone.
And not too bad of a run idea there, but we're starting to see a trend here from this Mexico City offense. We're seeing 2 straight passes on 1st and 2nd down, no matter what the scenario is. I think they need to shake things up to start Baltimore's defense guessing here.
Go to this gun look with both Lockett and Bartley down near the center. That's a great turn upfield from Nick Lockett. And he gets an Aztec 1st down. Wow, he just turned on a dime and just took off.
Yeah, it's exactly, you said, you couldn't have said it better myself there. You can see right after the catch, just the change in direction from Lockett, and that was huge because if he would have kept running to the sidelines, he would have been a yard short of the 1st down. So great work to have the wherewithal to turn yourself around and get to 1st down, get some more yards, and get them out of, the back of your own end zone, essentially.
A run up the gut with Jones, and he is only able to get a yard. He is met rather quickly by the very talkative in chat, Keenan Samuels.
And this is a guy that's going to chew your ear off, both in the chat and in the game. He's one of the elite trash talkers in this game. I've probably faced him a couple times, and he knows how to talk smack.
He's very chirpy, but knowing him, it's all in good fun. Hand up the middle.
Good run.
It's all the way to near midfield. Phoenix Jones starting to come alive on this drive.
And that's what they need from Mexico City. Nothing on offense has been working so far, aside from their first drive of this game, which only led to a field goal. They kind of been stifled since, but now Phoenix Jones is using every bit of his body, whether it be speed, power, agility, doesn't matter. He's going to get himself that first down and whatever is necessary to get Mexico City back in this game.
From midfield, it's a brand new set of downs here for Mexico City. Two wideouts near side. Sight over the middle. One-handed grab by Jason Bartley to get another first down.
And there's that confidence I've been waiting for from Jordan Sipe to sling that rock. He's got the young arm. Just sling it, young man. Don't be afraid to throw it into the middle of defenses. And there you see it right there. Perfect throw. Perfect one-handed catch from Lockett. And now the Aztecs are cooking with some fire here.
7 of 11 for 77 yards so far here tonight. Or Sipe as he throws to Bartley on the swing pass, and my goodness, a clothesline from Ben Stacking Paper.
Yeah, and you're talking about not stacking paper, but he's stacking bodies to the ground is what's happening there from Mr. Ben Stacking Paper. Seeing that Bentley was kind of, stuck in a position, slowing things down, he had a perfect lineup to Bentley. There was no choice other than hit city for Ray Bentley.
Tight end look, handoff through the middle. Jones out of a tackle. He breaks out of an Alvin Mack tackle and will pick up a first down as we hit the 2-minute warning. Can the Aztecs inch a little closer here before the end of the half? They're down 17-3. Tyler Falk and my best friend from north of the border, Brett Solberg, here on the call here from Estadio Matt Wilson. Swing pass, left side, Bartley. He gets out of one, spinning away from two more defenders and picking up extra yards, and now they go into the hurry-up.
This is smart thinking for Mexico City. They've got to use as little time as possible to get a score and get back in this.
And with Baltimore stacking the middle of the lane, they might want to go to the outside again, as that might happen one too many times as Bartley goes backward.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Bentley needs to go outside on this next play.
Go up again the middle, and Bentley again stopped. Might want to change up to that passing
I
play.
would call a timeout here.
Instead, they'll go back to the line again. Will they go up the middle again? No. Wide open. Bentley
Wide
left
open.
side, and he is just going to waltz into the end zone. Touchdown, Aztecs!
And touchdown, oh, daddy! Ray Bentley, the legend himself, gets on the board here for Mexico City, and what great timing. Quick little 2-minute drill. They were stifled for 2 plays, but then they just changed things up. Get yourself a little swing pass to the reliable old man, and he's going to get yourself a touchdown there. Mexico City back on track.
Another touchdown in his legendary career, and that will be a welcome sight for these home fans as on comes Chaz Blackwater to put it within a touchdown. Touch pick is up, and it is good. 17-10 with 1:25 to go here in the first half. And here we go again. Blackwater will get us underway once more. Irvin deep to return. Trying to find his way for another good return. It gets to the 28 before he's clobbered by Jeffrey Daggs. And we'll shoot it over quickly to SFL headquarters with Cam and Irvine. Cam, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Tyler. First check-in from Houston tonight as Shabazz Synergy completes his first 13 passes of the game. BC methodically takes a 7-0 lead in Houston, where 2 playoff teams from last season looking for win number 1 in season 20. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cam. Wigmore going to dump it off here on the first play, and that's Caesar Ackerman, who was wide open over the middle. That picks up a good chunk of yards, and now Baltimore goes hurry up.
Nice little cheeky play there for the dump down.
Now they look near side. That one is bobbled and dropped. An incomplete pass intended for Orlando Bishop.
And he wasn't quite ready for that pass either. He kind of saw his defender, kind of his peripheral vision, and kind of lost sight of the football while trying to catch it, resulting in a bumble here. But Mexico City, defensively, if they want to go into the locker room with some positive momentum, what better way than to stop Baltimore for a second straight drive?
Offset single back behind Wigmore. Mexico City sent a delayed blitz, pass near side. That's Irvin. He gets taken out of bounds, which will stop the clock at midfield. 3rd and a half a yard to go.
Yeah, and this is probably prime territory for the Warhorse to, run himself down the middle and get that first down. So if I were Mexico City's defense, I would anticipate, just a run up the gut, use those linemen to just swarm that middle of the field.
Looks like they might go with a swing pass. Here as they bunch all 4 tight ends, or 3 tight ends and a fullback on the line. Wigmore, near side for Murray. Murray, shifty move, gets the first down inside the 45.
Pretty nice screen pass there to get the first down.
Might do it again. As the down marker flips back to 1, here they come. Pumps once, Wigmore dumps it off underneath the Murray. Has to do a lot of work, and he gets good chunky yards after that play. Looked like it was going nowhere.
Yeah, a huge credit to the center, Robert Clayton, coming in to be that additional blocker for Warren Murray. If he didn't get to Gerard Brody on time, that probably would have been a net loss on that play instead of 4-yard gain. So great job on that. Again, elite offensive line. I can't say that enough for this Baltimore offensive line. They're just the best in this business.
3 wide here on 2nd and 6. 36 ticks of the clock to go in the first half. Dump off over the middle. Ackerman, first down to the 30.
If it works once, why not try it again? And again, just a simple dump off, just slip pass right to Ackerman for the first down.
Mexico City aren't alive to at the moment. That one nearly picked, though, by Dexter Jackson.
Yeah, and this is what Mexico City needs to do here. Now, Jack Wigmore is going to be 13 of 16 in this first half here. They need to start forcing Wigmore for incomplete passes. If he continues to be as efficient and, as on target as he has throughout this game, it's going to spell doom for the rest of this game for Mexico City.
Now they trot to the line here on 2nd down. 3 wide, Wigmore changing up the play at the line. Now looking for an out route right side. That is caught by Chima. Chima gets 8 yards, and they call a timeout with 17 seconds to go.
And how shocking that after 209 yards and 3 touchdowns in last week's game, that this is the first touch of Mac Chima's game here, only 8 yards. You think that he'd get a little bit more involved, but what Baltimore has done well is spread the wealth a lot. All the receivers, all the star receivers have gotten a touchdown in this game.
Power eye, 3rd and 2, hand up right side. Murray out of another tackle. Liam Ryan is there with Ben Charbs to get him behind the line, and that will save Mexico City from another touchdown, but out comes Tarkington for a field goal.
Yeah, and this one, again, another short one here as Tarkington's trying to, inch himself closer to the all-time board. If I'm not mistaken, he's competing with former Mexico City kicker Cole Varner for 4th all-time if he can hit 4 field goals today. So watch, this is attempt number 2.
Get halfway there from where he was to begin the night. 39-yard attempt from the right hash. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. Baltimore 20, Mexico City 10, 8 seconds to go on the clock. We might get a chance to see what Jeffrey Dez can do on the return, but this might be the scoreline headed into halftime.
Yeah, and it's a great 2-minute drill from Baltimore here. They had about, a minute and 20 some odd seconds to kind of work with, and they got down the field enough to, at least get a score. They were wanting to, respond after Mexico City got a touchdown from Ray Bentley so they can get back their lead. But hey, they still got their double-digit lead with that field goal from Tarkington.
Here we go. Once more in this first half, maybe for the final time. Dags trying to make something happen.
Oh.
He was plastered. Oh, Ivory Irvin. One return man to the other, and Dags peels himself off the turf.
Hey, Ivory, are you sure you don't want to play free safety for the rest of this season, man? You've got, elite hitting skills as, as your teammate, Giovanni Bolt. Hey, I've seen him have a couple bone-crushing hits there. He just lit up Jeffrey Dags.
Well, partner, didn't Bolt go down early in the game? I'm pretty sure you could probably pop in Irvin for Bolt and be just fine at this point. Deep shot here as the pass is knocked aside by Giovanni Bolt, saying, don't give away my spot on the defensive roster just yet.
Nah, my friend, that's my spot. I've held that spot for many a year. I ain't going to give it away to some, scrub wide receiver who got himself a special teams tackle. I'll show you what. I'll get a pass deflection, show you why I am the elite defensive back here for the Baltimore Vultures.
Final play of the first half. Offset single back is Ray Bentley. They will try a quick hitter to Bentley on his left-hand side. Spins away from one. Picks up the first down after being tackled by Giovanni Bolt. And that will conclude matters here in the first half. 20-10, Baltimore on top. And it all started, partner, with an incredible return by Ivory Irvin, and the offense has done the rest.
Yeah, and it's kind of set the momentum for Baltimore, especially in that first quarter, getting to that big lead to start things off. And they haven't needed to use time of possession to get their lead there. They've mainly used, what has gone right for them in that first quarter, and that's just been, just good, efficient football from the Baltimore Vultures offense to get themselves to a 17-3 lead to start things off. But the second quarter, great turnaround from Mexico City. They basically halved Baltimore's average yards per play, down from 7.2 in the first quarter to 4.4. That's what you need to do to stop Baltimore's defense, is just limit the amount of yards that they can gain per play and kind of play in a neutral ground. Because if you can play neutral against Baltimore, you've got a chance to win this. And they're starting to get things back up offensively. Getting that Ray Bentley touchdown, huge for them. Gets themselves on the board. They're within 10. They've got momentum into this game. They're going to get the football back here in this third quarter, so they want to carry this momentum into this ensuing drive that they're going to get.
And partner, I think for that Mexico City defense, they're going to have to really shore up the middle of the park, because Baltimore has been slicing and dicing their way through the hash marks.
It's either been inside gut run, or it's been a swing pass to the outside for Warren Murray. There's only been 2 spots that they've used Murray for. I haven't seen an outside run from him yet. I haven't seen anything in terms of, a slip screen pass of any sort. There's 2 options. If you can eliminate both those options, you've got a chance to win this game.
And we'll welcome you back to Estadio. Matt Wilson, Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg here in the booth, along with Ricky Robinson, Ramos Lynn, and Gerald Smith in the stats truck. And of course, our producer and commissioner is back at SFL headquarters, bringing you today's game here on SFL YouTube. We want to welcome you here on this Sunday evening, the first home game in Estadio Matt Wilson, with Jordan Sipe as a starting quarterback, only the 3rd starting quarterback in Mexico City history, and he's down by 10 points, and we'll get another shot to make another comeback here on this next offensive possession.
Yeah, it hasn't been too terrible of a first half for Jordan Sipe, although he's had a lot of nerves in that first quarter. He's kind of shored himself up here, now up to 11-16 for 114 and a touchdown. Pretty efficient numbers, but if he wants to continue that upward trend, he's got to start a completion streak here of about 8, 9, 10 straight passes in a row completed, so they can get back to form.
You have to wonder whether or not they do ramp up on passing against a very talented
Free play.
Baltimore defense. Free play. Saron Yates gets to the quarterback, but he'll be barking at his teammate Al Walker after he would have had 9th all time to himself in sacks if that play would have been allowed to stand.
Yeah, and we kind of forget the fact that, you know, Saron Yates had one of his quietest seasons of his career of, I don't know, only 11 and a half sacks and only 24 tackles for losses. That just seems like, you know, rookie numbers for him in his career. But, you know, he's probably a little bit angry after, you know, a sack turned into a free play for Mexico City.
Goal line eye here from Mexico City. They will go with an ISO up the middle, and Phoenix Jones just got gobbled up at the line of scrimmage.
It's only been a couple of times that run up the gut has really worked for Mexico City, and that's all due in part of Phoenix Jones kind of bullying his way through and getting those big yards. Aside from that, Baltimore has shored up that middle big time, so it might be time to, you know, go for the stretch run on the outside.
Tight coverage on those wideouts on the outside. Draw play going nowhere. Trying to catch the defense off guard, but they were ready for it.
Yeah, and the chef was ready. This time, at least if he's not going to get a sack, he'll say, hey, why don't I just bump up my TFL numbers for the season again? Get to Ray Bentley behind the line, force a third and medium situation with Mexico City, where I think they desperately need to throw a pass on this.
And they will bring out 3 wide receivers to maybe do just that. 5-step drop, looking right side for Bentley, and Bentley will stay in bounds enough to haul in the reception, but then falls outside the white painted area, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, and that was more of like just a desperation pass just to get out of his hands, because none of the 4 receivers that were, you know, down the field were open at all. Great work from the Baltimore secondary just to shore up any opportunity for receivers to get open and force Jordan Sipe to throw basically a coffin pass that wasn't going to get you any gain.
Gale Barrett Jr. on for his 3rd punt of the ball game to Ivory Irvin, who breaks out of 1 tackle on the return, gets a nice chunk on the return, about 5-6 yards, which is more than the average for him. And that gets to the 35-yard line, and that'll bring on Jack Wigmore and the Baltimore offense for their first drive of the half.
Yeah, in comparisons to Jordan Sipe, Jack Wigmore has had the more efficient game despite not throwing any touchdown passes yet. 14-17 for 147 unofficially right now.
Free nickel here on 1st down here for the Aztecs. They send blitz. Murray goes the other way and will pick up a good haul of 4 yards.
Yeah, and that's, you know, first time in a while that I've seen that stretch run from Warren Murray in, you know, at least a couple games here. So it's good that Baltimore's starting to, you know, stretch things out a little bit more and, you know, say that there's more options than Warren Murray, you know, getting a swing pass or a run up the gut.
Here we go, partner. A 5-wide look from Baltimore.
Corner.
Deep shot left
Corner.
side. Ivory Irvin
Gone.
gets away from Gerard Brody, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. The lead is back out to 16.
I said this in the first quarter of this game. Ivory Irvin is at his most dangerous on 15-yard corner routes to the sideline. And you'll see it here one-on-one against Gerard Brody, and he just guessed the wrong way. That's essentially it. And Ivory Irvin was gone. Good night. See you later. Auf Wiedersehen. Whatever you want to say. That is another classic Ivory Irvin touchdown. And like you said, partner, up 16.
Maybe to make it 17, trots Shark Tarkington to tack home the extra point. And Baltimore look to be well on their way to yet another win, which would be win number 101 for the franchise after taking win number 100 against Alamo City last week. It is official, 27-10, a 17-point lead for the Vultures. Want in-depth statistics all season long? Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for info about the league and its 28 teams, and to see all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. Simulationfl.net, your home for everything SFL. Here comes Jeffrey Daggs on the return. He spins out of Ivory Irvin, who's Superman away from him. He's down to the 23, and we go back to SFL HQ with Cam and Irvine for another game break.
Thank you, Tyler. Sonny J did not miss a field goal all last season for Houston. Missed a 49-yarder in this one, and then Kevin Say, who had only 3 yards rushing in the first half, breaks 2 tackles and is gone. DC just got an interception. The half is still not over. Dragons up 14-7 over the Headhunters.
Thanks, Cam. Sipe looking to throw, finds Bentley on the little short, quick hitter, and that's good enough for 3 yards. Keenan Samuels takes him down.
Yeah, and you can see in the chat a couple of, players and owners that are probably just thinking to themselves, all right, we got them where we want them. 17-point deficit, just like last week. We can come back from this. But if they're going to have to come back, they're going to need Jordan Sipe to sling the rock more than he has in this game.
Roughly 118 yards at this point, and it's in these swing passes. Bentley gets turned around after turning one way. He gets rudely interrupted by Warfield.
Yeah, and not a bad idea to, instead, if those wideouts aren't going to get open, you go with your reliable options, and Ray Bentley's going to be one of those guys, but he can't get you first downs every time. You need to trust on those wide receivers. Look at Terrell Cooper. He hasn't had a reception yet in this game.
Back to pass. Sipe, crossing route is caught by Bartley, and that's the first down that Mexico City was looking for.
Yeah, and it wasn't anything pretty. He got that ball out as quickly as he could, as quickly as he saw Bartley open, and that got him the first down. That's what they need out of Jordan Sipe. He doesn't need to, be indecisive and wait for that open opportunity 20 yards down the field. Just get that pass and get that first down.
Punch set near side. Sipe looking to throw. Will find his tight end, Henry, as he goes to work on a couple of defenders, and his hard work will pay off for a first down.
And Bill Henry's going to see a lot more action now that Mike Daggs has decided to play, booth man this season and just rely on his players to get down the field. Now Bill Henry, the one tight end, hashtag throw it to your tight end. It originates here in Mexico City.
Another first down as Baltimore send the blitz. Pass is caught by Bartley. He got pushed from behind, but somehow comes up with the catch.
And here I thought that was maybe overthrown to Henry again, but that was just perfectly placed for Jason Bartley just to slide in, grab that catch, and now it's back to back first downs here for the Vultures.
Mexico City moving in the right direction. Can they keep the momentum up? Handoff up the middle goes Jones, and Phoenix will pick up 5.
And this is what now Mexico City needs to do. Positive movement. None of this backward stuff that they've had throughout this game where, Baltimore is, taken advantage of. Baltimore has tackled them behind the line 4 times in this game. That has got to stop, and this is the great start here for Mexico City in the second half.
2 tight ends right, 2 wideouts left. They go instead with Bentley spinning away from a tackler and picking up the first down inside the 20-yard line.
Now it feels like here Mexico City can get anything that they want right now. And Bentley has been a fantastic passing option for Jordan Sipe throughout this game. He's just been open enough. He's been using his agility. Now 9 receptions for 65 yards unofficially for Bentley as he's gotten himself involved early and often.
Bentley's going to take a well-deserved break on the sideline as Phoenix Jones is back in the ball game. 8 men in the box here for Baltimore here on first down. Stretch play near side. Jones taken down from behind by Warfield, and we're calling Elijah Warfield's name a lot more often here in this second half.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit more involved in that run game by just being that safety blitz option, which has been paid in dividends for Baltimore. It's kind of stopped Phoenix Jones up that gut there, and it's limited him to a few yards.
Nice. So Jones through the middle, and he gets a couple more yards all the way to the 10-yard line. Now just need 3 more for another first down.
And again, it's Elijah Warfield being a part of that tackle there, and he's getting himself involved in this drive here big time in this game. He's now been involved in 10 tackles in this game, 4 by himself and 6 assisted.
Turning up the heat. Third and short, and Sipe gets taken out from underneath him. Nate Brown came out of nowhere and served him out like some hash browns.
Yeah, and Jordan Sipe had absolutely no time to get himself, situated in his own pocket. That is just a failure of protection from the offensive line. And all of a sudden, boom, we're talking about a 1-second sack here from Nate Brown.
So Chaz Blackwater called upon here in about a 30-yard attempt. Pick is up, and it is good. 29 officially. It's back to within 2 scores, 27-13. The East Division has been one of the surprises of the SFL so far this young season. Atlanta on top, Florida at the bottom, and Louisiana and Jacksonville playing better. The improved Revs and the Kings kick off Week 3 in a pivotal division matchup. Kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, only on SFL YouTube. We're underway once again. Irvin back deep to return, trying to find his way through. Gets through a couple, breaks out a couple more. A few blocks, and he's got turned around maybe one too many times before Bentley can bring him down to the 32.
Come on now, one and all. It's time for an Ivory Irvin hold down here as he's just bouncing all over the place. Probably, square dancing over special teams members. I've never seen that on a kick return in my life.
Oh, you keep impressing me, partner. I love calling games with you. A hoedown here south of the border as we start off this one with a run as War gets 3 yards.
All right, let's situate ourselves here. Take a breath. We're watching Baltimore's offense go to work. And if Baltimore wants to, ice this game early, a touchdown quickly would probably seal things here for Baltimore, as their offense has been probably the best that it's been, in the last, I would say, 5 or 6 games.
Murray untouched as he got through the line, but not that much further. Maybe 3 all told on the run. Again, coming up with the tackle is John Fowler.
Yeah, and this is what Mexico City just needs to continue doing. Is if Baltimore has a chance to go down the field, we're talking quick 3 and outs here. But it's 3rd and 4. Baltimore's done pretty well on 3rd downs here so far. They're 3 of 6.
And off up the middle of the fullback. First carry, first touch of the ball game. T-Roy gains, nothing doing. Fowler denies him, and Baltimore will have to punt.
Yeah, great pursuit from the linebackers. And like you said, John Fowler, the man of this on that spot there, and forcing Baltimore to kick this football away. And now Mexico City going to want a decent return or decent field position on this punt here.
Matty Coffins will punt this one away here for Baltimore. Dags on the return cannot spin out of that tackle by Marvin Johnstone. And that is where Mexico City will set up shop for their next possession.
All right, Mexico City, 13 minutes to get back into this game here, and it starts with this drive. You want to have a good, successful drive like the start of your last one here. Get your receivers a little bit more involved here, Mr. Sipe.
Baltimore have been keen to stack the box. Usually 8 to 9 members of their defense in the box at any given time. Sipe gets it away as he was hit, and it just falls out of the hands of Bill Henry.
That's one of those boink moments on the hands of Bill Henry, and you'll see this on his catch attempt there. It just touches the fingertips of his hands instead of grabbing the palms of those hands to secure that football. Instead, it touches the tips of his fingers, and that's what's going to happen. Opposite direction that football goes leads to an incompletion.
Now a sense of urgency comes from Mexico City as they spread the field here with 4 wide here on 2nd down. Blitz coming. Sipe on pressure. Going right, picked off. A dangerous throw will be turned into 6 points by Keenan Samuels. Pick 6, Baltimore.
And that is a way to just deject any momentum for Mexico City here. Like you said, incredibly risky pass. as you had possibly down the field Nick Lockett open for, maybe just throwing a shorter pass, but going with the check down option to Bill Henry just didn't work, as like you said, Keenan Samuels ready for it, had his hands ready, nobody near him to run to the end zone. That is a pick six for Baltimore, and now up 20.
How about this, Brett? Keenan Samuels only has 2 interceptions in his career. Both of them have been returned for pick sixes. Baltimore up 33, make it 34-13 in Estadio Matt Wilson.
And for the third time in this game, Estadio Matt Wilson falls completely silent, and now down 3 scores here nearing the end of the third quarter. It's starting to become more insurmountable for the Mexico City Aztecs. But again, reset things. It starts on this drive to come back.
They need a comeback. They need to send these fans home happy here in season 20. Not doing it at the moment. Dags on the return, trying to bounce it out near side, spins back to the interior and dragged down at the 22-yard line. As quickly Jordan Sipe will have to forget that last pass.
Yeah, and it's only his, second interception so far this season, if I'm not mistaken. He only had 1 pick against Carolina in their winning effort here. So it's not like he's been throwing interceptions aplenty here. He's been playing efficient football, and like you said, he needs to forget this one to move on.
Stretch play with Phoenix Jones. Jones, here he goes, near sideline to the 50, and he's taken down at the Baltimore 44. Nearly broke that one wide open.
And look at that stretch play to the outside, and Phoenix Jones gets himself open. Baltimore has done a fantastic job in shoring up the middle of the field, making any gut run so difficult for Jones and Bentley and Buford Van Dam. So why not switch it up a little bit and get yourself a stretch to the left side and rely on Jones' speed and agility to get you 30 yards and a key first down.
Jones hovering around 100 yards now on the day with that run. Well, they will need plenty more of that run where it came from. They go with Bentley this time. Bentley, more of the bruising runner of the two, only can muster 3.
And again, it's just, trying to follow what your offensive line is trying to give you. But when Baltimore shores up any open hole on the line, it's going to be difficult to get any positive yards past 2 or 3 with so many white jerseys around you.
Our eye again. And this
Free
time
play.
it's the other defensive end, Joe Duncan, who jumps off sides. And that'll give Mexico City another 3-5 yards. Only 2 penalties in the ball game. Both teams very disciplined coming into this game, which is what we expected.
Yeah, and both penalties are to Baltimore, and it hasn't really affected them on the defensive side there. It's only been 5 yards for each one, an encroachment for both. So it's not like Baltimore's really paying for their penalties here so far. And Mexico City, despite it keeping them clean, hasn't kept Baltimore's scoreboard clean either. They've got 34 on them right now.
This might be the final play of the third quarter. Second and short. Sipe in the gun. Bentley and Van Dam to his right and left. Deep shot, going
good shot.
for it. Oh, that is caught! And just like that, it's Nick Lockett, the hero from last week, getting into the end zone and saying Mexico City isn't done yet.
No, they're far from over here. And I was talking about that one-on-one battle between Nick Lockett, and at the time, I believe it was Elijah Warfield helping out on that secondary option. This time, a one-on-one battle with Ben Stackenpaper, and even though he's had some big interceptions in his career, he just gets beat by 2 steps, and that's all Jordan Sipe needs to sling that rock. Remember, he threw 545 times in Jacksonville last season. He's going to want those same numbers here in Mexico City this season. Mexico City now down only 2 scores.
Guy Clausen says, Mexico City, take advantage of the flag. Well, how about that? The very next play, they're on the board again. A fantastic response after throwing an interception just to drive earlier. A pick 6 comes out, puts points on the board for his own club. And now it's the defense's turn to slow up Baltimore. Return from Irvin, looking to the outside, out of a tackle, and there's Jeffrey Dags to haul him down. That will bring us to the end of the third quarter, and we'll pause for station identification. You're watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube.
Of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Lots of 12s, 4s, 68s, and 86s, both here in Estadio Matt Wilson and in chat. Welcome back to Mexico City. Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg, here on the call. Happy to have you with us this Sunday evening for Week 2 action, and that's just threading the needle from Wigmore to Irvin.
It's exactly what you said there. Threading the needle to Ivy Irvin. You had a defender behind Irvin and one about a yard or two ahead of him. And that is probably the tightest window that you could fit a football in this game so far. Great work from Mexico City's defense. But Wiggy Dime sometimes can just, can throw a football in a pinhole sometimes. He's that great of a quarterback.
Was just going to say another one of his fantastic nicknames, Wiggy Dimes, there on display in full effect. Second and short, handoff Murray, and that is just too easy for Warren Murray for a first down.
And once again, give credit to the Baltimore offensive line. Anytime that I call a Baltimore Vultures game, that offensive line has to be credited because they give so much space for Jack Wigmore to throw passes, and they have so much open holes for their running backs to run deep in the gut.
Empty backfield, 4 wide receivers here for Wigmore. Mexico City only sent 4, and oh no! He got licked. A huge lick on Daly Holder. He holds on to the football for a pickup of 9.
And huge hit, like you said. And that's probably a first down preventing hit as well, because if he had, just a regular tackle, he probably could have, reached himself out for that first down. But instead, here we are, 2nd and 1.
Offset eye. Here in 2nd and short, handoff Murray. He's flipped. And he will go down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 3rd down upcoming.
And this is big here for Mexico City. If you want any chance to get back in this game with 9.5 and ticking left in this game, you want to stop him here on 3rd and 1. And I feel like this is going to be a run up the gut for Warren Murray on the left side.
Power offense versus power defense. Who gets the win in the trenches? It's Baltimore. First down, Warren Murray, as we shoot it back to SFL headquarters, where DC's game is really kicking off.
Thank you, Tyler. Shabazz Synergy does not have an incomplete pass tonight in this game. Actually, just as I said that, he just threw his first. This is a bomb to Mike Churchill that put DC up 21-7, but Houston hanging tough, 21-14, a close one in the third between the Headhunters and the Dragons. Back to you guys in Mexico.
Thanks as always, Cam. Mexico City send a blitz. Irvin gets the reception and picks up 5.
And yeah, Baltimore is just continuing to roll down the field here. And right now, they've got to be thinking to themselves, let's shed as much clock as possible. Make this lead as about as insurmountable as we can get it here. 5-yard gain on a quick in route. Simple play, simply ravishing.
Line eye, hand off up the middle, Murray, and he is met by a sea of green trees. Only a gain of a yard on the play.
Yeah, and Mexico City this time mimicking the Baltimore defense, having all those green jerseys down the middle. And yeah, if you want to stop Baltimore's run game up the gut, you want to do exactly as you did there. Have your linebackers come in, have one safety kind of, come in as a blitz option to stop any run from happening.
Need a stop here to even prevent Baltimore to get within field goal range. Shot over the middle, incomplete. And it looked like Daly Holder was getting mixed up with a defender. No flag, and out comes the punting unit.
And you can see there, just outside of Shark Tarkington range. So this is going to force Coffins to come out and punt this football away. So no points here for Baltimore. Good thing here for Mexico City, but it all depends on how deep this punt is going to be placed.
Coffins with The punt, angling it a little toward the near sideline. It'll take a hop. No, right into the arms of the hands team. And the hands team member just waltzes into the end zone, down for a touchback. Maryland, not a whole lot they could do with the momentum they were at.
Yeah, it's tough when you're trying to catch your own punter's punt, essentially, and you've got the football essentially behind you while you're looking, and while you're trying to scoop that football in, you won't know what's in front of you until after you catch that. So it's very unfortunate for Mexico City. That's a blessing.
Power eye, handoff, left side, Jones out of a tackle. Now gets a
Good
couple
blocking.
of and there he goes all the way to the 36. Brett, take us through that play.
It's exactly what it is. Just fantastic blocking. And I got to credit the fullback there in Buford Van Dam. Great way of leading the path. And you'll see it here. First, he sheds off the tackle. And there was that big key block on Giovanni Bolt that got the first down. And it was only until Troy Loshaw got to Jones to prevent any more yardage from happening. Fantastic blocking from the fullback.
Also give credit to the left guard, Jose Calamata. Also helping out Jones there on the edge. Pass left side, caught by Terrell Cooper, and Cooper has got his first reception of the game.
Yeah, finally getting himself involved here, not a guy named Jason Bartley or Nick Lockett or even Bill Henry at this point for the receivers. Now all the star receivers from Mexico City getting involved. Terrell Cooper finally with 7 minutes left in this fourth quarter, and I would hope that they would start spreading the wealth a little bit more here than just to Ray Bentley. Oh, but they got a running formation here.
They dial up here on second and short. They'll go near side, and that was just demolished. The play going nowhere. Joe Duncan in the backfield for the huge loss.
Man, this has happened a couple times in this game for Mexico City's offensive line. Just missed assignments on the defensive line. We've seen Saron Yates get out pretty quickly. We saw that 1 second sack from Nate Brown, and now Joe Duncan gets himself behind that line.
Third and long, and they try and run it with Phoenix Jones, and Baltimore has been sensing run all football game, and that may be a missed play call as it'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, when you think that the running game isn't, working right now, and, especially in, tail end of that third quarter, that passing game was starting to become a little bit, more fired up. You'd go with, a deeper pass, but going on a run on third and medium, I'm not sure if that was the right call there.
So the punt is away from K.L. Barrett Jr. Fair catch called for by Ivory Irvin at his own 22-yard line. And we want to remind you that 8 p.m. Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. 8 p.m. Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit 8pmmusic.com. Under pressure, firing is Wigmore. Somehow, Leroy gains and James trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he was met in the backfield.
Yeah, I would say for the first time in this game, Mexico City pressured Jack Wigmore into throwing kind of that check down option. He didn't really have much time to really think of much, and that was just great pursuit from both the defensive line and the linebackers, knowing where Warren Murray was going to be and T-Roy Gaines was going to be for that 2-yard loss.
Still looking for their first sack of the ball game is the Mexico City defense. Sharps comes up with the hit, only a pickup about 5 for Murray.
Yeah, and right now Mexico City's done pretty good to shore things up in terms stopping Baltimore. Now they're 4 of 9 on third down efficiency here. Can Baltimore make it an even 5 for 10?
Trips near side here on third down here for the Vultures. Wigmore over the middle, that is caught by Irvin, and Irvin will fall forward for the first down.
And it's been tough to cover Irvin throughout this game, and he's, what Baltimore does great is that they don't stick their receivers just to 1 or 2 routes on their play sets. They make sure that their receivers are all over the field when they can. It's not just, a 15-yard corner route to the sidelines for Irvin. That's at his deadliest, but if you need a first down, he loves to throw that in route to Irvin.
Their weak power eye set from Baltimore here on this first down. They will try and milk as much clock as possible. Try and solidify their victory. And off for Murray. Right side with a blocker in front of him, but gets taken down from behind. Excellent pursuit from the linebacker.
Yeah, it was just great job of basically stopping a first down on that tackle there, because if Murray, turned on the engines there, that probably could have been a 35-yard run easy. There was a wide open space down that right side of the field.
But backfield, linebackers on the outside showing blitz. We're happy to take as much time as possible as Murray fights forward out of the tackle by Charms for the first down.
Yeah, now they're really slowing this game down here, the Vultures. They're just trusting on Warren Murray to get himself an open hole like the offensive line has done all game for him, and it's resulted in, these first downs. And again, they're slowing this clock down. We're getting close to 3 minutes left here in the fourth quarter, and Mexico City still needs to score 2 to tie this up. This has been great time management here on this drive from the Vultures.
We'll see them milk even more clock as we get closer and closer to that 2-minute warning. The Aztecs need to stop them here on this next 3 downs. They'll more than likely still have a shot in this football game as they rush and try to contain Murray. They finally take him down at the 46-yard line and bring up second down.
Yeah, and you can see there Mexico City trying to push Baltimore back as much as they could, and that offensive line did just enough for Murray to get himself 3 yards, and that's all Baltimore wants out of that first play there. Just 3 yards, open up that playbook just slightly for second down.
And even that little scrum, you would call it, him staying upright and just generating more time off the clock, even does wonders for Baltimore's chances as they again go with Murray through the middle, and it's a heavy hit laid on him by the safeties, Dags and Charbs. That will take us to the 2-minute warning here in this one. Baltimore 34, Mexico City 20 here in the Simulation Football League's Week 2. And we've got more action coming up, of course, tomorrow and for Week 3. We're just getting started here, folks, here in the SFL. But be sure to check out our Discord before you leave the stream tonight. There's so much more to do in the SFL than just being a player. Check out content for teams and about the league created by the community. Participate in pick'em games, play SFL fantasy football, and test your skills in the survivor pool. Join our server, visit simulationfl.net, and click on the Discord icon at the top banner. The SFL community, 2,000 strong, will see you there. And finally, Mexico City comes up with a stop, and that will bring out the punting unit.
Yeah, and it's not been great efficiencies for both teams here in this game. Both are now 5 of 11 on third down efficiencies, but Baltimore has just done better with the possessions that they've had, which has been the separation of these two teams, these 2 touchdowns.
Punt is away from Coffins, another near miss. Maybe the Hands team this time could stop the ball before getting into the end zone, and not this time. As we go quickly back to SFL headquarters before we hit the 2-minute drill.
Thank you, Tyler. When you're done in Mexico, don't forget to check out the action late in the fourth quarter in Houston. John DeSantis with 3 interceptions tonight for DC, but Houston's defense keeping a minute. The Headhunters have the ball back. It's a 7-point game. 7 minutes over there to go. Back to you guys for the conclusion of Mexico City, Baltimore.
Thank you, Cam. Biggest 2 minutes of Sipes' young SFL career.
Oh, it's
still going, and it eventually exits the popcorn machine. Too many buttery fingers, and the ball lands on the turf.
Yeah, we're talking about buttery fingers from after watching the new Avatar movie, perhaps, or, literally having a bar of Butterfingers in your hands while trying to catch the interception. That ball was all over the place. That was probably even in your own kitchen there, sir.
I want some buttery popcorn in my kitchen. I'm going to have to go make some after this game here tonight. Pass left side, caught by Cooper. Picks up about 6, 3rd and 4 upcoming.
Yeah, I'd be looking deep here for this third down, so watch out for that lead receiver on the right side.
They send Bartley on a go route, and the pass just a little bit too much on it 4th down. This could spell the ball game.
Yeah, this is pretty much the ball game here for Mexico City. So they need to find a good formation that could get them at least the first down, but they can continue with that no-huddle offense and continue switching up plays here. Let's see what they've conjured up.
They come out with a 2 tight end set on 4th and 4. What do they have up their sleeve? Sipe to throw. Over the middle, caught. That's a first down, and it's the 44. Under a minute, 20 to go.
That's a big gain for them as well. It gets them almost close to midfield.
And 10 now. Sipe, blitz coming. Swing pass near side, Bentley, and he gets shoulder to the turf. Clock still running.
Again, I would look at Bartley on that far left side. That's close man-on-man coverage now.
And I'm on a corner route, and they go near side to Bentley instead. This time he will get knocked out of bounds as the clock ticks under a minute.
And probably not the right choice, but that was just their designed, play for that one, to go with that swing pass to Bentley, because we saw on the top of your screen there, Jason Bartley was wide open on that one-on-one battle. He had a good 3 yards ahead of himself there. He could have slung that deep. Maybe the safety was a little bit too close for his comfort to throw that football, but nonetheless, here comes 3rd and 3.
Punch set left side, 3rd down. Pass near side, it is caught by Bartley for a first down. Only 2 seconds taken off the clock.
Yeah, that's sufficient enough to get that first down and kind of change up formations here. They can kind of take a breath a little bit, get into their next formation, get to their next play, and see if they can go a little bit deeper down the field. They're at their 44. That's 44 yards to the end zone. Simple math.
Take a look at Sipe's numbers real quickly. Those numbers look nearly identical to the ones he put up last week. Deep drop on play action.
Oh, boy.
It goes. Teron Yates, the 4th, picks up the 9th all-time spot in sacks with that one, as Terrell Cooper, unfortunately, leaves the ball game.
And that's just elite strength from Teron Yates. The chef knows what he's cooking in the trenches, and for him, it's sack soup for Jordan Sipe here with 53 ticks to go. Mexico City had to use their timeout there. They're now down a receiver in Terrell Cooper. So now it's going to be all relying on those 2 receivers that they have left, Nick Lockett and Jason Bartley. But they've got a heavy set here.
Heavy set in a 2-minute drill. We'll see what happens. Handoff Phoenix Jones, and they're going to have to call their 2nd timeout. Partner, I think that was just ill-advised. I think Mexico City might have come out with maybe too much of a conservative game plan for their opponent.
No, I agree with that one. I think they should have gone with like a 4-receiver set with maybe Bill Henry acting as a slot receiver. That could have possibly worked. And again, they're going heavy set here on 3rd and 13. What are they thinking?
You have to imagine that the injury to Terrell Cooper has something to do with this play calling. Jones only able to get back to the original line of scrimmage on 1st down. They call their final timeout, 45 seconds to go, and it's just woe and agony for these fans at the moment.
Yeah, this isn't what they want to see here. You got 2 heavy set plays on 2nd and 3rd and deep, and now it's forcing themselves. They have to sling this rock out on 4th and 10, and you might be right. You might be right with this Terrell Cooper injury. This might have affected their play formations here.
4th and 10, I formation. Jones has to get there. He cannot, and that's going to do it. Baltimore will take the victory after it has to be said, an interesting last couple of offensive plays for Mexico City. They will fall to 1-1. Baltimore keep their perfect season bid alive here after only 2 games of play. 34-20 will be your final score. If you're wondering about Jack's data, their lines are always provided by those incredible ladies and gentlemen. Mexico City definitely did not cover tonight. Baltimore takes the spread, and it will be the under that gets the bragging rights tonight.
Yeah, and it's just, if anyone thought that Baltimore was going to take a step back after, only winning 9 games last season to win the championship, you probably thought wrong, because Baltimore is probably as as deadly and as ready as ever, and they want to be the first team in SFL history to four-peat in the SFL. So watch out for Baltimore the rest of this season. They're now 2-0 here to start things off.
And it is official. The Fat Lady has sung 34-20 your final from Estadio Matt Wilson and partner, not the homecoming Jordan Sipe wanted after week 1.
No, and it's all affected by the first and third quarters. Like we talked about it at halftime. 7.2 average yards per play. I've been talking about this all game, how that's going to be very crucial moving forward. That third quarter, man, 9 rushing yards, but 61 passing yards on just 6 plays in the third quarter for Baltimore. That's 11.7 yards per play, and it was all capped off by that huge Ivy Irvin touchdown, a quick one that got them, back with their double-digit plus lead, their 2+ possession lead. And again, it was just trying to catch up these Mexico City Aztecs, and they can't do that all season. They're going to have to start, getting momentum themselves here. I know things have changed a lot in terms of just the offensive set. You don't have Matt Wilson anymore. You don't have Mike Daggs anymore, 2 of, the mainstays of that Mexico City offense. But now, after a shaky game against Carolina and now this loss against Baltimore here, I wouldn't say this is panic time for Mexico City, but it's definitely time to start looking at your playbooks and saying to yourself, what can we do to, spark this offense a little bit more and, kind of shore up that defense? Because right now, Baltimore kind of, showed you how it's done here, especially in the third quarter there.
Definitely the pick 6 and the kick return touchdown by Ivory Irvin. Definitely the factors. You take those 2 touchdowns away, partner, we're looking at a 20-20 bowl game if we're just playing offensive defense. But you have to play it in all facets of the game against Baltimore. They again displayed tonight why they are the cream of the crop, the team that every team must strive to be. And tonight, your player of the game, I think I've got Ivory Irvin as my player of the game, partner. Let's see what the pundits have chosen. The player of the game is none other than Ivory Irvin. Yep. The kick return touchdown and the receiving touchdown. For everyone here at the SFL, for Gerald Smith, Ramos Lynn, and Ricky Robinson, the Stats Truck, and my partner here in the booth, Brett Solberg, I've been Tyler Falk. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later this week. And until next time, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Boo-doo.